Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. And today's a day that's ruled by the second chakra and guided by heart. And we are entering a new 13-day Wavespell. And so for the next 13 days, this is going to be the overriding frequency that we are working with. And that frequency is the white magnetic dog. And so this white dog energy is all about love, loyalty, and heart. So it's a beautiful energy to be working with throughout the course of the next 13 days. This is that energy of love. We're going to be feeling the love. We're going to be giving the love and receiving the love. This is all about that understanding. And we've been talking about this a lot lately. This energy of purity that has kept coming through, right? Us reconnecting to the purity of our true nature. And so the love is pure. The heart is pure. Yes, sometimes we have baggage, we have traumas, we have different things, different experiences and emotions that layer over the purity of that heart center. However, the heart at its core is pure divine love. And so this energy is not only about giving and receiving love, but it's about continuing to strip away the barriers to love, to really clear and cleanse and open up that heart space so that we are able to better give and receive love. There's a favorite quote of mine, and I'm probably going to screw it up, but it's by Rumi. And it says something to the effect of, our purpose is not to seek love, but to seek within ourselves all the barriers that we have built against it. And so that's the energy that we're working with. So we may be seeing some of those things come up. This white dog energy is all about relationships. It's about the way that we experience and connect to the concept of love through relationship. It's about what we learn about ourselves and our capacity to love through relationship. And so that's going to be a big focus with this energy. It's also about our companions of destiny. And so these are those souls that we agree to come into this lifetime to meet. The ones that we learn with, the ones that we grow with, the ones that are there for a purpose in order to enrich our lives and in order to enrich our soul's experience on this earth. So we're coming together with those companions of destiny. We're appreciating the companions of destiny that we do have, right? And then we are also connecting with our companions of destiny in the non-physical. So this would be our angels, our teachers, our guides. So there's a big energy for the next 13 days with that as well, with opening up our heart to them, with really building that connection with them, that trust, that loyalty, that love. They are here to assist us. They are here to help us. They are here to help connect us to the truth and purity and light and love of our own souls and our own beings. Like that is really their ultimate job. And so really connecting with them as well and utilizing this as a great sort of period in order to really build upon that relationship, as well as to build upon any other relationships in our lives. We're really going to be noticing just the resonance and the frequency that the people around us, whether we're vibing with them or we're not. And we're really going to be appreciating those people that we do. And the people that we don't, that is a lesson right there. There's something that we're meant to learn from that relationship, especially if it's one that is causing us pain. Pain is simply when somebody is in pain, when somebody is in anger, what they are experiencing is a lack of love. And what they are doing is actually crying out for love. So we're going to understand and see where others are crying out for love, where we are crying out for love. And we're going to begin to get a clearer picture of the wounds that may be within our own hearts, that may be preventing us and blocking us from being able to give and receive love to the capacity that we are truly capable, right? We are divine beings of love. And so, of course, each and every one of us is capable of giving and receiving that. But sometimes there's some work that needs to be done in order to clear that channel so that can happen more easily. And this is definitely an energy where I think we want to focus on the giving of love. Right? We want to focus on giving love without agenda, without an ulterior motive, right? Giving love simply for the fact because it feels so good, right? Giving love because it is just flowing out of us, because that is what we are, not necessarily with the intention of receiving it back. But when we give from that place that is free of agenda, the funny part of it is we do naturally receive that back. But that's not the goal. That's not the point. The point is just to be love, to live love, and to express that to everyone and everything. And I really love how this energy is really continuing. When we're talking about the beauty way, which is kind of how we started out this month with that blue spectral hand energy, which is acknowledging and seeing the beauty in everything and everyone in every moment. So we're just continuing with that vibe as we go throughout the month of June, which I think is really fun. And so here are the affirmations for the white magnetic dog. And the other thing that's great about this white magnetic dog energy is that the magnetic tone is all about unity and it's all about attraction. And so it's like, what better way to experience and understand unity than through love? So the magnetic tone and the white dog tribe really go together very well. It's that sense of loving unity. It's that sense of connection. And it's that understanding and that energy. When we connect with that principle of unity, we become a magnetic force that naturally attracts our purpose. And what is our ultimate purpose? Love. The first affirmation says, I unify in order to love, attracting loyalty. I seal the process of heart with the magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled. And the secondary affirmation is, I am Auk dog. I am your ability to love and to start again. I give to you loyalty and help. And so the guidance is to focus on transcending limiting emotional patterns and activating your spiritual strength in relationships. Attune to the one heart. Unite with your companions of destiny. Be loyal to your essence, your path, and your kin. And the guidance for this Wavespell is, dog is about faith and loyalty, about guiding and being guided. What is it that guides you? Is it good for you? Do you refuse to see something in order to avoid confrontation? Be in charge of your own life and be loyal to your ideals. What is it you long for? What makes your heart sing? It's time to open your heart. In order to be true to yourself, you sometimes need to give a clear signal to another. Allow yourself to bare your teeth at times. The Mayan word for dog also means feet. Pay attention to your feet so you don't stub your toe. And we can take that in a metaphorical sense, as well as, I guess, a physical sense. That's always good advice. Feet might very well mean to follow or to stand with both feet on the ground. And so this is really interesting too, right? Because we're talking about this openness, giving love from this open heart space. But there's also that energy of boundaries, understanding our boundaries, understanding our value and our worth, understanding what it is that we are loyal to, and whether that thing that we are loyal to deserves our loyalty, right? And so this, and that's not, when we say that, I don't want that to sound as though it's like a judgment of someone or something's worthiness. Everyone and everything is worthy of love. However, and this is funny too, because we talked about that energy of giving without expecting to receive, right? But there's a difference between giving from an open heart space and giving from that open heart space to an energy that is simply taking and is not ever returning any of that energy, right? And so it's sort of like a paradox there, because we're not looking at our relationships like, what can I get out of this? Like, I'm going to do this so that I can get that. However, we are being asked to look at them and see where it is that maybe there's sort of like a black hole or a void where our love and our time and our energy is just being sucked out of us and it's not being replenished, right? And where do we need to be more loving with ourselves in order to create those boundaries and in order to understand where it is that our loyalty may be misplaced? Everyone and everything is worthy of love, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we need to be the giver of that love. If that is detrimental to ourselves, if that is draining us, if that is causing us pain, and if we are experiencing pain in that situation, then that's a great indicator to look more deeply at that situation, to understand what wounds within us are causing us to continue to give and pour into something that is simply taking. Right? What wounds within us are causing us to remain in a painful situation that is hindering our ability to experience joy, our ability to really to give love from that truly open heart space. Because when we give love to an energy that is simply taking, that is not appreciating, that is not returning and reciprocating over a long period of time, it's oh wow, that just totally, where I was going with that was just totally removed from my mind. So I guess maybe I'm not supposed to go down that road and talk about that. But it's draining, right? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason that we're doing that. And so what is that? It does cause us pain. And so like we said, that pain is an indicator. Why? Why do we feel the need to continue to experience that pain, to continue to subject ourselves to that experience? This is all this energy, every energy, right? Everything. It's all teaching us, and it's asking us to look. If you are noticing a pattern in your relationships, in your life right now, where these types of things are concerned, how is it that can be adjusted? Right? What is looking to be healed? What is the cause of that? And this is how we heal and we close out those cycles. All right, hopefully that all made sense. Now we're going to read from the Astro Dream Advisor. If I can find, here we go, yes. One of the gifts of White Dog is calling in recognition of other companions of destiny. Other beings with the same longing are waiting to meet and acknowledge you. Beings who can see you as you authentically are. When you have truly been seen, you feel empowered, and remembrance of a shared sacred trust is ignited. This is a natural process divinely designed for recognition through vibrational affinity, freed from personal expectations. White Dog can be seen as an access point for developing relationships with guides, totems, allies, and guardians. There are many ways to work with these spiritual guides, including guided visualizations, shamanic journeys, and meditation. A useful construct is viewing them as aspects of yourself, part of your life stream that is asking to be integrated. Remember, there is no other. In this grand adventure, you are being asked to embody all that you are. Profound insights are garnered through shared purpose and relationship with others who are willing to be in their truth and integrity about the light and shadow aspects they perceive in themselves. Similarly, intimate relationships can be viewed as unique opportunities to bring forward in each other deep emotional patterns to be transformed. In this case, those you have drawn to you hold the ability to assist you in your own integration as well. There are no mistakes. Be willing to look deeply into the truth held within any relationship. The expression of intimacy is a gift of love. The lack of it may be a symptom asking for honest communication and healing. It may also be guiding you to reevaluate your relationship and the purpose it is serving. White Dog signals a breakthrough in your life. New beginnings, new perceptions, new allies and friends. As you express more authentically who you are, you draw your true family closer to you. With your guides and companions, you have the ability to manifest your inspired visions and dreams. Recognize the eyes and hearts that spark the remembrance of a sacred trust. And with this tone 1, this magnetic tone, we have unconditional love, the one heart, indivisible essence, core vibration, new beginnings, chalice of the infinite, and all that is. 1 is the ray of unity with self and source. Call forth the resonance of your true vibration. Feel the pulse of this ecstatic frequency of the 1. You are being offered profound awakenings in the exquisite radiance of unconditional love. This is a time of new beginnings in your life. Be active in your individual expression, committed to the growth of your essence self. You contain the paradox of the separate self and unity with the 1. You are simultaneously the primal point of beginning and the crowing culmination. You are the initiator. You are the one who opens the way. You may feel alone or separated from source. If so, stand in the unity of your essence self and focus on the reality of the one heart. You are the wisdom you seek. And this is actually really beautiful energy too, because we have Venus today entering the sign of Cancer. And so Venus moving out of restless Gemini into the sign of Cancer, where she is very much at home. Venus loves being in Cancer. She can really express her heart. She can express her emotions. She can connect deeply. She can be vulnerable. And so it's a beautiful romantic kind of energy when Venus enters Cancer. We are softer. We are kinder. We are more gentle. And so pairing this with the energy of today, with this white magnetic dog, frequency. And this wave spell, as we move through the first 13 days of her transit through Cancer, is just really gorgeous energy, I think. And we'll take a little look at Venus here. Yes, she is in a trine to Jupiter today. So this is even more beneficial. This is really bringing us some luck when it comes to our relationships, when it comes to our ability to love. It's making us feel more open. It's making us feel as though it's seeing possibilities that maybe we didn't see before. Definitely giving us a good boost if we are desiring communication with someone today. Yes, we do have Mercury in retrograde. Yes, Mercury is going to be in that square to Neptune pretty much throughout this entire retrograde, right? So there is still a little bit of confusion. We do want to be selective with our words, but it still feels, as far as the retrograde goes, if there's going to be a day to have true heart-to-heart communication with another person, today is a fabulous day to do that. And Mercury is still in a more distant conjunction with Venus now. They're about almost 6 degrees apart. So they moved a considerable amount apart. Still within orb of each other, though. And Venus putting herself within 2 degrees of this trine to Jupiter. So definitely feeling like things are blessed today as far as communication. And really being able to open up and connect with each other from that heart space. And to like an energy of really being able to bare our souls, which is really beautiful. We also have the moon moving into conjunction with Neptune, and the moon will be closer and closer to this conjunction throughout the day. And so this is, again, a very dreamy, a very idealistic, a very romantic and creative kind of energy, a very psychic energy, intuitive energy. And so this is a great day for connecting with your guides as well, utilizing and really capitalizing on that aspect of the white magnetic dog energy as well. And this is really a time where I'm feeling for people too, especially as we are building up to this new moon eclipse. It's traditionally a time of releasing, right, as we build up to a new moon. But I'm really feeling like beginning to put our intentions out there. I feel like without even actually actively trying, there is an energy of drawing to us that which is meant for us. There's a very fated energy to today. I might be picking up on the energy moving through toward the eclipse and everything too. But a lot of like destined and fated energy. We do say companions of destiny, right? And so it may be throughout this wave spell, this 13-day wave spell, that we may have destined meetings with people. We may be, with Mercury retrograde, remember, we may be pulled back into contact with people. There's that feel and that vibe to the energy, which is actually feels really cool. I'm definitely into it. Yeah, and we also have Mars trining Neptune. And so this is a beautiful energy, right? Mars trine Neptune is definitely an energy of, it's an energy, that divinely inspired guidance kind of an energy. It's also an energy, and I understood because this has been going on throughout the week, and I kind of put 2 and 2 together that this Mars trine Neptune energy may have also been why some of us have been feeling more tired this week. We have a little bit of that stamina that's kind of lagging a little bit, and it could be part of that connection, but it does put us in a very dreamy state. It does put us in a very receptive state where we're able to act from that place of receptivity. So that is the positive of that energy. All right, let's get some cards going here. I want to start with some Moonology cards today. Clear. Guidance for today, and perhaps for this 13-day wave spell as well. Yeah, I like that. Let's get some guidance for this 13-day wave spell. Guides, Ascended Masters, what do you have to tell us? All right, the first card out is Disseminating Moon, Take Time to Breathe Out. So this is that time of going within. It is that time of, like, we're being guided not to be reactionary right now. To really take time to let things simmer, to let things percolate. To just stay calm and breathe. Remember, it's like, I feel like this is going to be an important mantra for people as we're moving through the next 13 days, is just breathe. anytime that you feel yourself getting worked up, anytime that you feel yourself getting anxious, anytime even that any of that pain, any of that stuff is coming up to be released, even just breathe through it. And that's like what they're saying now, is that's a really great way to process your emotions too, is when they start coming up, instead of trying to analyze them, just breathe into them. And that will help them to move through, and that will help you to release. And if there are conversations that are becoming challenging, take time to breathe out with those too. Right? You don't always have to say something. You don't always have to do something. Sometimes it's about that pause. I think that's a big energy right now. Like, we're in retrograde season. That's supposed to be a pause. And so we want to be taking in the information, and we want to be sharing our thoughts and what's going on within us. Right? But we want to also be taking that time to think things through, to feel things through even more so. Right? Especially with Mercury in retrograde, the feeling. And there's so much that's coming in, right? This is a destined and fated cycle, like we were talking about. Things are going to happen the way that they're meant to happen. We don't have to control them. We simply have to allow them. And so really surrendering in that respect. That's what I feel with this Take Time to Breathe Out too, is that energy of surrender. But then we have a win-win outcome as forecast, full moon in Libra. And we have the end of a tough cycle approaches, which is the full moon in Capricorn. So 2 full moon energies with a super moon energy on the bottom of the deck. Emotions are running high. And this is another reason why that Take Time to Breathe Out is coming through. Because if they're with a lot of emotion, right, we want to breathe into that. We don't want to say things we don't mean. We don't want to make snap decisions. We want to be fully present for everything that's happening. Right? We don't want to, sometimes even when we're having conversations with people, we go into, and I believe it's Eckhart Tolle that talks about this in The Power of Now. He talks about this, it's like the pain body. And so when something gets stirred up within us that is related to a trauma that we've experienced, we move into what he calls the pain body. And in the pain body, we're not, like, our mental processes, our emotions, everything is sort of magnified, and we're moving back into that original state that we were when we experienced the thing that we're being reminded of by the interaction, by the conversation, by the event that's happening. And so that's why we want to breathe. There could be times with these emotions running high, with some of these situations where we get triggered into that pain body. And so we want to breathe through that. We don't want to be reacting from that place. We want to wait and give our heads time to clear. Right? But this is whatever cycle you have been working on. And with the Libra energy, which is also about relationships, with this white dog energy, which is very much about relationships, this could have to do with relationships for a lot of people. Whether this is your an aspect of your relationship to yourself, or for many people, a relationship with another. Not necessarily romantic in nature. This could be any type of relationship. But there is a positive outcome at hand. And there's a major cycle that you're going to be closing as well. And it's going to be beneficial for everyone. Whatever choices you need to make, however it is that you are individually meant to end this cycle, it's going to be actually in the highest benefit of everyone involved. You just have to take that time to remember to breathe, to communicate from that. Remember, pull in that white dog energy, to communicate from that open and loving heart space. And then we have don't let your past hold you back, South Node. All right. And so that's the energy, kind of like we were talking about with the pain body. That's the old energy, the old programming, the stuff that we're clearing. Right? That's how we get stuck in those same old cycles, is by allowing our past to have a heavy influence on the way that we're perceiving our present. And so it's about releasing that. It's about releasing all of the pain and disappointment of the past so that we can move forward into our future. It's letting all of that go. Let's get some more energy here. Your commitment is being tested on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. We got communication is key. And that is the new moon in Gemini. Right? So the full moons, these are about closures. The new moon is about the new energy, the new beginnings, right? And we are having that new moon eclipse in Gemini coming up, right? I just put out that video if you guys haven't checked that out yet. definitely do. Powerful energies. And there was a lot of relationship energy in that reading as well. But yeah, communicating is going to be key. And like we said, talking from that open heart space, making that soul to soul, heart to heart connection, learning how to listen, right? That's part of what this Take Time to Breathe Out is about, is learning to listen. A lot of times we don't actually listen. We're just waiting for our turn to speak. So are you able to listen? Even if somebody's saying something that you don't like, that you don't agree with, even if they're saying something that makes you feel some type of way, most likely because of this past conditioning, are you able to breathe through that? Are you able to be fully present with them, to truly listen to what they have to say, and then to speak from that centered place, from that compassionate place? So this is like thoughtful communication, thoughtful heart-centered communication. Truly listening, right? Communication's a two-way street. It's not just I talk at you and you listen to me. It's I talk to you, I talk with you. I like with better. And you listen with me. And vice versa, right? We're speaking and we're listening, and we're doing each fully, we're mindfully doing each aspect of that process. And then we have it's time to release new negativity, full moon in Scorpio. So that's another energy of closure, right? Closing out those cycles of negativity, closing out those, and Scorpio, that's that energy, right? With the negativity aspect, it's like that really passionate, tortured kind of energy. And so we may be feeling that, we may be releasing some of that. It's also releasing, with the negativity, I'm thinking I'm being called to the stinger on the end of the scorpion right now. And I'm being called to that venom, right? So it's time to release that venom. Where in our lives do we still feel that resentment? Where do we still feel that need for revenge, or that need to show somebody up or one up somebody? Right? Where can we bring closure to that energy? Where can we heal that within ourselves, right? Because it's only harming us. Resentment doesn't harm the other person. It harms us, right? They go about their life. Half the time they don't even know that we have a resentment against them, or they don't care. So it's not bothering them, but it's eating us up inside. There's an old quote that I used to hear quite a lot when I was in the 12-step community, and it says, resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. And so it's that energy of really coming to understand some of that stuff and release some of that too. And any negativity we feel around a situation, right? Seeing the gift, seeing the lesson, viewing people through that compassionate lens is really helpful with that. And yeah, with the emotions are running high, supermoon energy needed to pop out with that Scorpio card. So a lot of intense, passionate energy, a lot of, I feel like, yeah, there's an intensity to the energy that people may be experiencing during this time. A lot that may be brought to the surface, that may be triggered, a lot that's healing. And so that's why Take Time to Breathe Out was the first card. And then look at the bigger picture. And this is another full moon card, full moon in Sagittarius. And so, like, what is the bigger picture? What is the lesson here? What is the gift here? What did this person come here to teach me? Right? If we have this level of intensity of feeling around something, that's not an accident. There's a reason that's in our reality. And even if this is something that happened a long time ago, if we still have this level of intense feeling about it, there's something there that wants to be looked at. And that's not going to go away until we look at that, until we acknowledge that. And only then can we heal that. And if you guys want assistance with this, please reach out to me. My email is in the description box below. All right, one more card here. Nothing is yet set in stone. And on the bottom of the deck, adjustments are required. Okay, so everything is very mutable, very changeable right now. In the mutable moon, we are, once again, with that new moon in Gemini, that is mutable energy. There's a lot of mutable energy coming in with that new moon solar eclipse. And so everything's very fluid. Everything's very changeable right now. There is no guarantee that anything is going to go one way. And so it's really... this is that energy of, like, you have a lot of ability to influence the way that events unfold. And so what kind of influence do you want to be? Right? What way do you want to tip those scales, right, with this Libra card here? Because there's a lot of clearing, a lot of closure. This is huge closure energy, right? with all these full moons. Huge intensity of energy, huge closure energy. So what are you trying to close out? And what are you trying to bring in? There's so much opportunity here. Anything else? What I'm trying to think. I feel like there's... Yeah. You and your loved ones are safe popping up there. Which we always love to see that card. Yeah, I'm thinking I want to pull a Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. Clear. For some closing guidance here. For this beautiful white dog wave spell. Yeah, definitely check out. It's not a coincidence. Nothing is, right? That this new moon solar eclipse is happening right in the middle of this white dog wave spell. And there's a lot that we're rewriting around belief systems right now. Check out that video for more. Also, if you guys want to join the new moon manifesting ceremony this month, the information for that is in the description box below. Make sure that you send your email with your $10 donation. Oh, whoa. Okay. So we have the eyes of beauty, positive expectations and clarity. And this is where nothing is yet set in stone, right? The energy is so mutable, so influenceable right now. And so have those positive expectations. Think about the best possible outcome, right? But this is also about, and really get clear on what it is that you are desiring. What is it that you want? Then we have the Phoenix, resurrection, surrender to change, right? So that energy of surrender coming through, that energy of shifting and changing, of things being alchemized. And then we have the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge, insecurity, and manipulation. And so this is where our desire to manipulate situations, our insecurities, our fears, all of that, which is part of that negativity that we're releasing, right? All of that is allowing us, it's insight. There is knowledge that is waiting to be unearthed, that lies underneath the desire to manipulate, this feeling of insecurity. So are we willing to dive into that? Are we willing to dive into these emotions that are coming up to find and understand and heal the wound that's underneath it? And that's where the knowledge comes from. And notice how she's holding this beautiful crystal, right? That's everything that we gain. That's our light that we gain back. How our light becomes more full when we're willing to look at those things, when we're willing to acknowledge them, when we're willing to understand. Yeah, and we're going to read out of the book, The Eyes of Beauty here. When the eyes of beauty show up as your ally, they require you to examine your perceptions. And remember, we're talking about belief systems here right now, you guys. Do you see the world as perfect and beautiful? Can you retrace your steps from your past to now, and see the perfection in the way reality has been created? Truly, perception is everything. A glass half empty is the same as a glass half full, yet so different according to how it's perceived. The eyes of beauty remind you that if you move forward with conviction, all is well now and always will be. You will see the true prosperity as a result. Expect to see beauty and you will attract the highest good. And then we know what this Phoenix energy is all about, right? We talk about this all the time. But I'm going to read it as well. I'm going to read all three of these cards for you guys for closing. The Phoenix appears as your ally to celebrate your journey and to ensure your ultimate success. This is true even if it appears that you've just passed through a metaphorical experience of death or are currently enduring a perception of failure in your life. Death and rebirth are related when you enter the realm of the Phoenix. Seen in this light, nothing truly dies, but rather changes from one ending directly into new beginnings. The Phoenix is constantly reinventing itself and rises up whole and new and even more powerful with every death it experiences. This could signal an end of a relationship or of a dynamic within one, or an end of a job, a project, or even a life. Perhaps no failure is involved, but it's time for a complete overhaul of your circumstances. You may be tired of what you're doing, or you may know intuitively that it's time to move on and try something new. Whatever the case, the death of the old and a celebration of new life are called for. Whatever you do now will indeed be a successful endeavor, for a rebirth is imminent. So this is once again all about those closures, those endings, those new beginnings in all areas of our lives. And so this is why we want to look at the things that are ending through that lens of positivity and clarity as well. Really knowing and understanding what we've learned and gained from it. Seeing everything seeing the gift in it, right? And then continuing that energy. That's the energy that we then move into as we experience a new beginning. Like we continue to build upon that energy. That energy of looking at everything as a gift. That energy of positivity. That energy of expecting good things. Right, as we have things closing out in our lives, this is just a great reminder from our guides not to be in this state, this victim state. Like, I can't believe that didn't work out. I can't believe I lost that. I'm never going to have anything like that again. Nothing good is ever going to come to me. And I'm talking to myself as much as you guys right now. Those kind of energies, we want to try to shift that, and we want to look at it like something new and amazing is coming in for me. I've freed myself from this old energy, and now I'm open to all of the blessings that are ready to unfold. It's like that's the mentality that we want to cultivate. And if we don't have that mentality, that's part of the shadow energy, right? If we are tempted to manipulate, if we are tempted to try to seize control in order to facilitate the new beginning that we think is the direction we need to go in order to possibly for some prevent something from ending and thus prevent our new beginning. Wherever it is that we're feeling that energy wanting to come in of control and manipulation, we want to kind of pull ourselves back from that, but look at where that's coming from. It's all about those beliefs, right? So look at the way that you are reacting. Look at the thoughts that are coming up. The repeating thoughts in the mind. Look at the ways that you are wanting to react, and then dig deeper into that so that you can understand why. Yeah. So the Shadow Queen comes to shed light on what is concealed within you and your situation. Perhaps you lack clarity and knowledge of how to proceed with the subject of your inquiry. It's time to educate yourself a little more about your intention and then put that information to work for you. The Shadow Queen asks you to dig deep to gain strength, and that you have the courage to ask someone in the know to shed light on your circumstances. She promises to send that person to you. Beware of moving too quickly in the dark. You will likely trip and fall and have to start again. And so this is like that. Ask someone in the know to shed light on your circumstances. This white dog wave spell is also all about connecting with our guides and our angels, right? So maybe ask them. Maybe ask your higher self. Maybe ask somebody wise who you trust. But remember, like the true answer is always within here. So it's really about connecting to that. Connecting more deeply to our own hearts and our own intuition to guide us through these circumstances. And because we are working with the guides and angels as well, we're gonna close with a couple Keepers of the Light cards. Clear. Some final guidance from the Keepers of the Light. I know I always say final guidance and then we keep going, but it just feels appropriate. What guidance do we have from the Keepers of the Light? Okay. So we have Serapis Bay Ascension coming out. Move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. And so this is that process where we are clearing the darkness, right? As we are ascending, there is a new level. And we also have Hilarion Divine Healing here, right? And so there is a new level of light that's coming in. We are like this ascension process is just moving faster and faster, right? And so we are releasing and purging so much. So it's about acknowledging that and knowing that that's part of the process. And that's really helping to reveal more of who you truly are. Right? We're shedding all that we're not to reveal more of what we are. So just know and understand that. And begin to be able to identify what is not you. What is simply a story that you've told yourself. What is simply an outdated belief. An outdated understanding or misperception of yourself. and be open to seeing and having more of the truth of who you are revealed. And I love how on the bottom of the deck too we have Sanat Kumara light activation. Shine your light, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. Right? There's activations coming through. And then Lady Venus under that, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed, deep insights are coming from heaven in the astral realm. So there's a lot of communication. There's a lot of activation going on. There's a lot of communication going on from your guides. So they really just want you to know that. And they want you to tap and tune into them. And to learn how to tap and tune in more deeply to yourself. Yeah. And with this Hilarion card, this is all about that need to retreat, to recharge and heal. And just knowing that as you are taking that time that you may need for yourself, for your own healing, recharging your own heart, healing your own heart, that is supporting the entire collective. Every little thing that we do, every little way that we heal ourselves is supporting and healing the entire collective energy. And so it is so important. You can just sit in your house working on yourself, loving yourself. And that energy alone is creating huge ripples in the world. All right. And then underneath that, we have Mother Mary, love and peace. And this is interesting because it's coming out with Mercury, which is open communication. So this is about speaking up and being heard, but this is also about choosing peace and letting go of the need to be right. And so this is going to be really important as we go through these communications, is releasing some of that pride and that ego. Releasing that need to be right, and just right, and choosing that peace. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Right? Sometimes we can't have both. Sometimes people will not allow us to have both, and that's okay. You know the truth within your own heart. It doesn't matter if somebody else acknowledges or sees it. At the end of the day, that just is what it is sometimes. And so it's like, are you able to see things also from a different perspective, from another person's side? Are you willing to hear them out, right? Remember, take time to breathe out. Are you willing to be compassionate, to be forgiving? Simply because forgiveness, it doesn't condone what the other person did, but what it does do is set us free. So this is speaking up, this is communicating openly, but this is releasing that need to get that point across. This is also that other saying, which is seeking to understand rather than be understood. That may be called for some people right now. Just really practicing that and honing the art of that. I know my truth. Whether somebody else acknowledges it or not. It feels good when it is acknowledged, but I know it, and that's acknowledgement enough. Sometimes, when I've grown to that point, I can remember what it feels like to need my truth to be acknowledged. I can remember what it felt like before I knew that me knowing and holding my truth was enough. And I can be compassionate enough to allow another to share their truth with me and to hear that and to acknowledge that, even if I don't agree with that, just because I know it's healing for them. So I think that's a little bit of what that energy is about too, is just allowing people to speak their truths. It's not just us speaking our truth, it's allowing other people to speak theirs and acknowledging that truth, holding that space for them. Even if we don't agree, even if that's not our own. And then Kali Ma, facing fear. Of course, major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. Release those fears, baby. Call on Kali Ma to help. And under that, we have the Divine Director, intervention and purpose. And this is all about divine intervention. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So this is that fated energy coming in, right? Things are being directed. We are being guided. All we're being asked to do is to show up, to pay attention to where our intuition is leading us, what it's leading us to do, and to just show up in our integrity, being as loving, being as compassionate. That's what the spiritual warrior is all about, right? We are fierce, but we love fiercely as well. We are champions of love, right? All right, I love you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, hit that like button. It definitely helps to continue to help the channel to grow so that these messages get out. Although we know that all who are meant to find them in the perfect version of the now for them. There are links below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And as I did mention a couple times, I think my email is in the description box below. If you want to reach out and set up a personal session or anything like that, drop a comment. Let me know how this is resonating, how you guys are feeling about today and about this feeling. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I love you. So much love, so much appreciation. Enjoy this wave spell. Enjoy this eclipse. Check out that video if you hadn't. Such big, bold, beautiful energies. So much change. So many endings. So many new beginnings. And so all we can do is just go with the flow of all of that. Just surrender, breathe, trust, allow. And continue to let go. Continue to let go of what isn't serving us. Continue to work on identifying and releasing and discarding those belief systems. Identifying and discarding anything that does not serve us anymore. Anything that sort of hides the truth of who we are. And really step more into that. More and more fully every single day. We're all doing it. You're all doing it. I see you. I honor you.